2 sets of boots approached his house, but only one returned to the sled. His throat dry, gulped as the male runner's sled resumed its clattering trek down his frozen street, leaving that second set standing at his front door. Conrad sucked in a nervous breath when the door chimed. After a moment's hesitation, he reached out, turned the latch, and cracked open the door. As soon as he saw the visitor, he exhaled. A genuine smile found his face as he recognized the bundled-up man brushing tiny ice crystals from his heavy coat. "You gave me a start, Anatoly. What are you doing here?" Conrad asked, looking past his visitor to see if anyone else was there. "I came to visit an old friend," replied Anatoly Yanbayev, "and see about the item we discussed the last time we spoke." Anatoly's green eyes were bright, and his full brown beard, dusty with snow, was showing streaks of gray. 2 years is a long time, and I'm afraid it's as cold here as it is back home. Please come in." Conrad, or Leon Trotsky as he was known back in Russia, opened the door and ushered his old friend inside, "although I believe my next home will be much warmer." "Mexico, I hear," Anatoly mused, pulling the wool cap from his head. "And warm may not describe it. I would say hot." "Yes, but it's getting hot here too, my friend." Trotsky took Anatoly's coat and hung it on a rack next to the iron stove. "Too hot for me, and I'm sad to say, too hot for anyone who knows me." Anatoly grimaced. "The wind whispers louder every day, but I pay no attention." Trotsky's back went rigid. "No attention? Listen to me, Anatoly. The whispers are screams outside of Russia. How can you be so naive? Almost the entire general staff has been executed. Tens of thousands of soldiers as well, and anyone even remotely connected to the revolution betrayal is in danger." Out of habit, Trotsky pulled the window curtain aside and glanced outside. "You should leave Sevastopol while you still can. The net is being cast wide, and everything caught in it quickly disappears." "The Yanbayev family has been in Crimea since Tartars first arrived, almost 500 years ago," Anatoly said resolutely, "and we won't disappear anytime soon." "Are you blind, Anatoly?" Trotsky's features darkened with exasperation. "Ukraine is far from safe. Stalin has starved millions to death. Do you really think that your little jewelry shop will go unnoticed?" "Metallurgy shop," corrected Anatoly, waving his hand in dismissal. "So, do you have it?" Trotsky sighed, nodded, and walked over to a bureau near the kitchen door. He returned with something wrapped in a handkerchief. "Of course, I know a Norwegian geologist who owes me, so I saved it for you." He handed over the small item. "What's so special about this green rock that you're willing to risk your life for?" Anatoly studied the object before answering the question. A satisfied gleam found his eyes. "Leon, this rock means everything to me. It's the catalyst for my life's work, and this, my friend, is a perfect specimen of green amber. It feels about 20 grams and maybe 10 centimeters long. I can make 2 settings from it." "Although I'm glad to oblige, I don't understand your obsession with this." The curtain lifted a second time in as many minutes. Trotsky stiffened, his face drained of blood as he stepped back from the frosted window. "There are 2 men standing at a corner across the street." His voice dropped to barely a whisper. "They weren't there when you arrived. Here, take your jacket. Leave out the back alley and stay in the shadows until you're well away from here." "You've become rather paranoid, Leon," Anatoly said as he shook the other man's hand. He stuffed the handkerchief in his coat pocket, and he slipped out the back door. Before disappearing into the freezing night, he turned and said, "You'll see. We'll be fine. You go get sunburned in Mexico, and I'll keep my little shop to give to my son."